Listen closely. What I am about to speak is not a comfort for someday. It is a word for right now in this moment, while these words reach your ears. Your case is closed. Say that again in your heart until it lands. Your case is closed. Today I declared before all of heaven that your situation has an expiration date. The chains that held you, the thing that robbed your sleep, the heaviness that followed you from room to room. I have pronounced judgment against all of it, and that judgment is final. Your miracle is not approaching. It has arrived. Not tomorrow, not at the end of a long road still ahead of you. Now. Right now, while you receive this word, the power of heaven is moving on your behalf. Orders have gone out. Doors are being opened. Obstacles are being cleared from your path. This is not a performance. This is a declaration from the throne. And when I speak, what I say becomes what is. I need you to understand who is speaking to you. I am your Father, the one who created the breath in your lungs, the one who built every chamber of your heart. I know you with a knowledge that goes beyond what you know of yourself. I've watched you carry weight that was too heavy for anyone to carry alone. I've heard the prayers you said out loud and the ones you never finished because the words would not come. I've been present in every room you walked through when you felt most alone. My presence was not absent in those moments. You simply could not feel it yet. I know there were times you thought I had forgotten you, that your prayers rose and scattered and reached nothing, that perhaps your faith was not enough, or that something in you had disqualified you from my attention. I want to speak plainly into that lie. It was never true. Not once. You were never out of my sight. You were never beneath my care. Your name has always been written in my hand, and I have never once been indifferent to what you have faced. I tell you now with all the authority of heaven behind me, the season of waiting is over. Your case has been reviewed, it has been deliberated, and the verdict has been handed down. You are not here by chance. You did not stumble into this moment accidentally. I drew you here. I arranged this encounter between you and my voice because the time has come. Not a time I am improvising, a time I set in motion long before it arrived at your door. There were moments you stood at the edge of giving up. I know. I was there. I saw you weigh the cost of continuing to believe. I watched you decide, again and again, to get back up. That decision was not small. It mattered. Every time you reached for faith when everything around you argued against it, I noted it. What you endured through those years was real, and so is what is coming now. During all those months and years, I was not still. You saw silence. I was working. You could not perceive it with your natural eyes, but in the unseen place where all things are governed, I was moving. Mountains were being shifted. Roads were being laid through territory that looked to you like nothing but desert. I was not waiting on the sidelines. I was running ahead of you, preparing what you are about to walk into. Think of the walls of Jericho. The Israelites did not watch those walls fall because they were skilled fighters, or because they carried the right weapons. They walked in obedience, and I brought the walls down. That is what I am doing for you now. The walls around your situation, the ones that have stood so long you stopped expecting them to move, are coming down, not by your strength, by my word, by my decree, by the authority of the one who holds all things in his hands. What is coming toward you is not a small adjustment. It is not a patch on a broken thing. It is a complete and permanent transformation. When I am done, the people who know you will not be able to reconcile who you are with who you were. They will see the living evidence of what I do when I decide to move on someone's behalf. They will not be able to explain it except to say, his God, her God, did that. And they will be right. Your family is going to change. Your provision is going to change. Your health is going to change. Your peace, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, is going to return. Everything the enemy took from your life over the years, I am giving it back. Not in the measure it was taken, in greater measure. That is who I am. I do not restore to the previous level. I restore beyond it. When I open my hand to give back what was lost, I pour out more than was taken. I am that kind of father. I know that the hardest thing about this moment is trusting it. You have believed before and watched days turn into months. You have held on to a promise and felt the weight of nothing happening. I am not going to tell you that was easy. I know it was not. But I am telling you now that the reason you are still standing, the reason you are still here, still listening, still alive in your faith, is because I would not let you fall. I was with you in those silent stretches, and I am with you now. The same hands that held you then are the hands that are opening what comes next. Receive this now. Let it pass through your ears and go deep into the place where you still carry doubt. I am speaking into that place specifically. This word is not for the part of you that already believes easily. It is for the part that has been disappointed, that learned to protect itself by expecting less. I am reaching into that place right now, and I am saying, open. What is coming is real. What I have spoken over your life is certain, and it begins today. Declare your amen if you believe this word is yours. Let me take you inside what happened. Let me show you what took place at the moment your case was closed. My son stood before the court of heaven and placed his hands forward. The same hands that carried the cross, the same hands that bore the nails. He showed the marks. He showed the wounds. And he spoke your name. He said, "This one is mine. This person has already been redeemed. Every accusation brought against them has been answered. The price was paid, in full, on the cross." And at that declaration, every accuser had to step back. Not reluctantly, not after debate. They had to fall silent because there was nothing left to argue. My son's sacrifice is a perfect answer to every charge. When he spoke your name and showed his wounds, the case against you closed. Not temporarily, permanently. There is no court in heaven or on earth that can reopen what my son sealed with his blood. I need you to understand what this means for you today. It means you are not standing before me as someone who has to earn what is coming. You are not waiting to see if you have been good enough, faithful enough, consistent enough in your prayer life. The miracle I am releasing over your life does not depend on your performance. It depends on what was already done. My son carried the weight so you would not have to. His obedience covered your shortfall. His sacrifice answered every debt. Do you remember the story of Mary and Martha? When Lazarus died, both sisters came to my son with grief on their faces. The situation looked final. 4 days in the grave, the stone already in place, the mourners already assembled. From every natural angle, the story was over. But my son did not see what everyone else was looking at. He looked at that tomb and he called out, and what was dead came back to life. That is the kind of God I am. I do not need a situation to look hopeful before I move. I move when I decree it. And I have decreed your time. There are things in your life that look like they have been in the tomb too long. A relationship that went cold years ago and you stopped expecting it to change. A dream you set down because life kept interrupting it. A physical condition that settled in like a permanent resident. A financial situation that became so familiar you stopped praying about it the same way. I see all of it. And what I am telling you is this: none of it is beyond my reach. I am the same God who called Lazarus out. I am the same God who parts rivers and brings water from stone. What looks like a final chapter to you is not a final chapter to me. State, I believe if you know this word is reaching your spirit right now. The enemy has spent a great deal of time whispering to you that your case is different, that what worked for others will not work for you, that you are too old, that it is too late, that too much has gone wrong for too long. I want you to hear this clearly. Every one of those whispers was a lie with a specific purpose. The enemy whispers loudest when what he fears is closest. He has seen what I have prepared for you. He has watched the door I am about to open. And his only remaining strategy is to get you to walk away before it swings wide. Do not walk away. Look at Abraham. When I called him and gave him a promise, his body was already past the age where the promise seemed possible. His wife Sarah had lived her whole life without holding a child. By every human calculation, the promise should not have been able to come true. But I am not subject to human calculation. I spoke, and life came where there was no life. I said it would happen, and it happened. That same power is not a story from an ancient book. It is alive right now. It is present in this moment, and it is moving toward you. Look at Caleb, 85 years old, a generation of wandering behind him. And when the land was divided, he did not ask for something easy. He stood and said, "Give me this mountain." The hardest ground, the fiercest resistance, the territory everyone else avoided. Because he knew I was with him, and that with me, the mountain was already taken. That is the posture I am calling you into right now. Not a posture of asking for something modest, because you have been hurt before. A posture of standing in full confidence that I have not brought you this far to leave you short of what I promised. When I decreed that your case was closed, I also decreed what comes next. Not just the removal of what was against you, the release of what I have been holding in reserve for you. Blessings do not just represent an absence of hardship. They are an active, growing, expanding reality in your life. Favor that opens doors before you knock. Provision that arrives before you feel the need. Peace that holds you steady when the ground around you shakes. That is what I have planned. That is what the verdict released. Not just freedom from, freedom toward. My word does not return to me without accomplishing what I sent it to do. That is written, and it is true. I sent this word to you today with purpose. It carries my authority. It is not merely an encouragement. It is a decree going out over your situation right now, and it will accomplish what I intend. The same voice that ordered light into darkness, that calmed the sea with a sentence, that spoke creation into being. That voice is speaking over your life today. You are on the receiving end of that power. Stand still and let it reach every corner of what has been waiting for change. I want to tell you something about the time that has passed. Not a soft version of it. Not a story that makes the hard parts disappear. The truth is, what you walked through was difficult. There were nights you went to sleep with questions that had no answers yet. There were mornings you got up and carried the same burden you went to bed with. There were seasons where the silence was so complete it felt like weight rather than absence. I am not going to tell you that none of that was hard. It was, and I was present for all of it. But I need to tell you what I was doing during those stretches. Not to explain everything. Some of what I was arranging cannot be fully understood from where you stand, but enough to give you a frame. I was working in the unseen spaces, the conversations you never heard, the doors that were being positioned, the people being moved into place, the circumstances being rearranged. What looked to you like a field gone quiet was a field being turned and prepared. Nothing was sitting still on my end. My work was happening beneath the surface, the way roots travel through soil long before anything breaks ground. Think of the farmer who prepares his land. He clears it. He turns the soil. He removes the stones. He plants in a season that looks like nothing, bare ground, no visible sign of what is coming. He does not see the harvest during that work. But the harvest is coming because the work is real. That is what I have been doing in your life. The preparation was real. The work was real. And now the season has turned. What was planted in those hidden months is about to break through the surface. Here is what I need you to do. I'm not asking you to figure out how this miracle arrives. I'm not asking you to engineer the outcome or force the door open. What I'm asking is this. Keep walking forward, one step at a time. Keep your heart open to what I am doing, even when it arrives in a form you did not predict. My provision does not always look the way you imagined, but it is complete, and it is on its way. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you, into the harvest I am preparing. You have prayed in the night when no one was watching. You have given when giving was costly. You have spoken faith out loud when your circumstances made that look foolish. You have sought my face in quiet moments that no one will ever record or celebrate. Every one of those acts of faithfulness was seen, not observed from a distance, seen with the full attention of the one who governs all things. Nothing you did in faithfulness slipped past me. Every prayer you prayed went somewhere. Every act of trust left a mark on the record. And now what was sown in faith is being prepared for harvest. That includes the prayers you said for those you love, the ones you carry in your heart, the ones you bring before me in the quiet. I heard those prayers. I received them. The situation you have been carrying on behalf of others is not outside my reach. I am working there too. The same power that is moving in your own life is reaching into the lives of those connected to you. You prayed and believed on their behalf when they could not pray for themselves, and I honored that. My answer is in motion for them as well. There are signs coming your way, some of them small, an unexpected message from someone you have not heard from in a long time. A door opening in a place you had already stopped knocking. A shift in a situation that had been standing still for so long you stopped watching it. Do not dismiss these things as coincidence. I do not do coincidence. When I move, I leave evidence. These will be my way of saying, I told you. Watch for them. When they come, let them build your faith for the next thing, because what begins now is not one event. It is the beginning of a season. I want to be clear about what I am releasing into your life. It is not a season of barely getting through. It is not relief that lasts a few weeks and then fades. What I am opening for you is a new chapter, one where the chapter title is changed. You have been in a chapter called struggle, called holding on, called enduring. That chapter is closed. The next one is called abundance, called overflow, called the harvest year. And everything in it is already written by my hand. You will walk through it, step by step, and what you find there will exceed what you asked for. My beloved, I need you to hear this and hold it. The miracle you are receiving is not just for you. It is for everyone whose life touches yours. When I pour out blessing on one of my children, it does not stop at that person's door. It runs over. It reaches the ones standing nearby. You are going to become a source of what I am pouring out. The ones you love most are going to be reached by what I am doing in your life right now. That is the width of what I have decided. Not a narrow stream just for you, a river that runs wide. I want to speak to your body, not around it, not generally, directly to the physical condition you carry. Whether it is something the doctors named and placed in a file, something you feel every morning when you wake up, or something that has ground you down slowly over years. I see it, I know it, and I am not indifferent to it. The same voice that shaped your body knows every part of it in precise detail. I designed it. I understand it in ways no medical instrument can reach, and I am speaking to it right now. My son healed throughout his time on earth, and I did not heal only as a one-time demonstration. Healing is woven into who I am. My name is Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals, not was, is, present tense. That name is not a historical footnote. It is a living description of my nature, and it applies to your situation right now. I do not look at your physical condition and see a problem too complicated for me. I look at it and see something that is subject to my word. I am moving through your body now, through each place that has ached, each system that has faltered, each part that has struggled to function as I designed it. My healing does not work only on symptoms. It reaches the origin. I go to the root of what has taken hold and I remove it from there. What doctors cannot find, I see clearly. What medicine has not been able to address, my power reaches without restriction. I am speaking restoration to your body right now, and my word does not fail. Receive this. You are going to begin to feel a difference, not because you imagined it, because I declared it. The heaviness that has lived in your body is being lifted. The pain that became so familiar you stopped expecting it to leave. It is leaving. The rest you have not been able to find, the sleep that has escaped you, the mornings that started with exhaustion before the day even began. Those things are changing. I am restoring your strength, not a version of strength that runs out quickly, the kind that renews, the kind that rises again after it is spent. Isaiah wrote what I told him. Those who wait on me will renew their strength. They will rise up as eagles rise. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. That promise was not written for one generation. It was written for you to receive today. I am renewing your strength now. I am replacing the depletion with something new. You are going to feel what it is to have energy in your body again, to move without heaviness, to face the day from a position of capacity rather than deficit. The body I gave you is not finished. It is being restored. I also want to speak to what you carry emotionally, the fear that grabs at you in quiet moments, the anxiety that arrives without warning and makes your chest tight, the weight of what you have been responsible for, the things that press in when everything is still. These are not signs that your faith is too small. They are signs that you have been carrying things that were never meant to be carried alone. I did not build you to hold all of this by yourself. and I am not requiring you to. I am lifting those things now, not by removing the circumstances that created them. I am going to change those circumstances, but before they change, I am giving you peace that exists independently of them. This is the peace I spoke about when I walked the earth, not the peace that the world gives, which depends on things going well. My peace holds when things are in motion, when the situation is unresolved, when the answer has not yet arrived. It stands like a guard between your heart and everything that would unsettle it. You're going to sleep differently. That is not a small thing. Sleep is where I restore what the day spent. When your nights are broken, when your mind runs through the same fears from midnight until dawn, your body and your spirit both pay the cost. I'm giving you rest, real rest, the kind where you close your eyes and the weight releases, the kind where you wake up with something still in you, rather than already spent. I designed rest as a gift, and I'm giving it back to you now. Your mind is being renewed. The patterns of thought that have been running against you, the voice that says you are not enough, the habit of expecting the worst, the way your mind rehearses old disappointments, those patterns are being interrupted. I'm not asking you to force your way to a better outlook. I am doing something deeper than that. I am replacing the foundation that those thoughts stood on. When the foundation changes, the structure built on it changes too. You are going to notice your thinking shift. Not all at once, but steadily, unmistakably. A quieting, a settling, a clarity where there was noise. I want you to understand the fullness of what I am releasing. It is not limited to one area of your life. My healing is not a single fix. It is a tide that comes in and reaches every part of the shore. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your rest, your capacity to engage with each day. All of it is under my hand right now. All of it is being addressed. I do not do partial work. When I restore completely. Not a portion of what was lost, all of it, and then more. My precious one, I made you to live at full capacity, not merely to survive the day, not to endure until something better comes. I made you to live with genuine joy, with real peace, with a body that serves you well, with a mind that is clear and free. That is not a distant hope. That is what I am restoring to you now. The full version of the life I designed for you. Not a reduced version because of what the years have taken. The full version. And it is yours. Stand firm in that. Receive it without apology. It was always meant for you. Now I want to speak about your provision. About the material ground of your life, what you have been able to give, what has come in and what has gone out, the weight of financial struggle that has pressed on you in ways that are hard to explain to someone who has not carried it. I am not speaking around this. I see exactly where you stand. I know which number keeps you awake. I know which bill you have been calculating in your head. I know what you stopped asking for because you stopped believing it was possible. And I am telling you, that ceiling is coming down. The scarcity you have experienced was not my will for you. Let me be direct about that. I did not design your life to be a permanent exercise in barely enough. Scarcity was never in my original intention for my children. There were openings the enemy exploited. Patterns inherited across generations, decisions that created debt, circumstances that pressed down at the wrong time. But I want you to understand that I have not been withholding from you in punishment. I have been waiting for this moment when I could release what I have been preparing. Today, I am closing every door through which the enemy has been draining your provision. Every channel of loss that should not have been open, closed. Every inherited burden that was passed down through your family line and attached to your finances, severed. Every agreement that was made in fear or ignorance that has been working against your abundance, broken. The path is being cleared, and what I am releasing into that cleared space is not a trickle. It is an overflow. There are sources of provision coming to you that you have not considered. You have been praying in a direction, and I am answering from a direction you were not watching. That is one of the ways I work. I honor the prayer, but I choose the path of the answer. Do not lock your eyes on one door. Keep your heart open to unexpected arrivals, because some of what I am sending will not look like what you expected. A conversation you did not plan. An offer from someone you did not think of. A door opening in a field you had not been considering. These are my answers. Receive them as such. If you are employed, I am moving in that place. Increase is coming. Recognition of what you have brought that has gone unrewarded for too long. Opportunities for advancement that have been blocked are being unblocked. If you carry work of your own, a business, a service, a skill you offer, new doors are opening. The clients, the customers, the connections that will bring growth. What stalled is being restarted. What was held back is being released. I am the God who provides, and I know precisely what your situation requires. Declare, I trust you. If you believe that what I am speaking over your finances is real and already in motion. The debt that has pursued you, that persistent voice of what is owed, the weight that makes it hard to plan or hope. I am addressing it. Some of it will be reduced in ways you did not arrange. Some of it will be paid because your capacity to pay is increasing. I am giving you wisdom about how to move, what to do first, what to release, and what to hold. My wisdom is specific, not general. It will arrive as a clear sense of the right step. Follow it. Do not let old habits of fear override what I am showing you. As you obey the steps I give you, the load will lighten, and then it will lift. I am also going to put generosity in your hands. This is part of the fullness I am giving you. Not just enough for yourself, enough to give without it hurting, enough to look at a need and meet it without calculating whether you can afford to. That capacity is part of what I am building in your life. I raise my children up, not just for their own comfort, but so they can become channels of my provision to others. You are going to know what it feels like to give freely. That is not a small thing. That is the life I designed. Think of Joseph, sold into a pit by his own family, imprisoned without cause, forgotten by those he helped. By every reasonable measure, his story should have ended there. But I was in every chapter of that story, and not one of those setbacks was the ending. What his brothers meant for his destruction, I used for his elevation. He emerged from everything they did to him as the one who held the provision for a nation. I am telling you, what was done against you does not have the final word. I have a purpose for what you have been through, and it is larger than the sum of what hurt you. You carry a gift, something you can do that others cannot do in quite the same way. A way you see things, a skill you have built, a capacity that was placed in you with intention. That gift has been dormant, not permanently, dormant. I am waking it up now. I am clearing the space for it to operate. I am connecting you with the people who will recognize it and open doors for it. You are not too old to build. You are not too late to begin. Caleb was 85 when he asked for the mountain. I gave it to him because my timing does not follow the calendar the way human expectations do. What I am giving you is not a short-term correction. It is not a burst of provision that fades after a season. It is a new foundation for your material life. Stable, growing, free from the old patterns that kept you cycling through the same lack. From here, you build forward. From here, what you have serves what you need and goes beyond it. I have spoken it. My word is the deed to what I have promised. What I have decreed over your provision does not expire. It holds. I want to speak about the people in your life, the relationships that have broken, the ones that have grown cold, the ones that were stolen by misunderstanding or distance or choices that cannot be undone by either party alone. I know the ones you still grieve. I know the names that come to your mind when you think about what was lost. Those losses were real, and I am not asking you to pretend otherwise. But I want you to hear this. What is broken is not outside my reach. I am a God who restores what was divided. Where the enemy placed distance, I place reunion. Where he placed bitterness, I place a willingness to let go that neither person could manufacture on their own. Some of the people you have prayed for, who drifted, who chose a different direction, who moved away from the ones who loved them, I have not forgotten them. My hand is on them right now. I am working in their lives in ways that are not yet visible to you. Do not give up the prayer. What you are believing for on their behalf is already in motion. The home you want, the place of real rest, where those you love can gather and be safe, where peace is the atmosphere rather than the exception. I know that longing. I placed it in you, not to frustrate you, not to give you something to yearn for that would never come. I placed it in you because it is part of what I am building for you. I see the image of it in your heart. I know what you want that space to feel like, and I am working toward it. The provision for it is being arranged. The timing for it is under my authority. It is coming. I also want to speak to the loneliness that has been part of your story. The feeling of fighting battles that no one around you fully understood, of carrying concerns in silence because there was no one close enough to carry them with you. That loneliness was painful, and I want to be honest with you. I did not enjoy watching you carry it, but I am telling you now that the season of isolation is ending. I am bringing people into your life who will know how to stand beside you. Real friendship, genuine support, people who will be present in the hard moments without needing the easy ones first. That community is being arranged. Your spiritual authority is being increased. This is a dimension of what I am releasing that I want you to pay close attention to. When you speak in my name, it carries weight in the unseen world. When you pray, those prayers reach my throne and activate my response. What you bind on earth is bound in heaven. What you release is released. That authority has always been available to you, but in this new season, you are going to experience it with a sharpness you have not felt before. Your words of faith are going to land with power. Your declarations are going to shift things. Do not speak carelessly. Speak on purpose. I'm also waking up what has been dormant in you in terms of gifts and calling. The dreams you shelved because life got loud. The ideas you quieted because someone told you they were impractical. The sense of purpose that you carried for years and then stopped talking about because it seemed too far from where you were standing. I am bringing all of that back into focus, not as a distant possibility, as the next real chapter of your life. I'm giving you clarity about what I made you to do, and I'm removing the obstacles that kept you from doing it. You are going to discover that your story, including the hard parts, is something I can use. Not despite what you went through, but because of it. What you understand now, what you carry in your bones from the seasons of difficulty, is something that can reach people who are in a place you once stood. Your experience is not wasted. It is material. I am a God who takes the broken stone and makes a cornerstone from it. What the world would discard, I put at the center of something solid. Receive this. Your best days are not the ones that are already behind you. I know the years of beauty that were real, and I honor them. But I am telling you that what is ahead surpasses what is behind. Not because the past was worthless, because what is coming was designed by me with your full story in mind. I know everything that shaped you. I know what you can carry now that you could not carry before. And I am giving you what fits the person you have become, not just the person you were when this all began. My child, we have walked a long road together. Some of it was terrain I wish you had not had to cross, but you crossed it, and you are still here. And what I see standing before me now is someone who is ready. Not because you feel ready. Ready is not about feeling. It is about being prepared without knowing the full weight of what is coming. You are prepared. I have seen to that. And what is ahead is not going to crush you. It is going to carry you in ways you have been waiting your whole life to experience. If your heart is open to receive everything I have described, the healing, the provision, the restored relationships, the renewed purpose, the spiritual authority, say so. Let that agreement go up from you to me right now. Declare, I receive this. If your heart is open and you are ready to walk into what I have prepared, I want to speak to you now about what this moment means beyond yourself. Because what I am doing in your life does not stop at the edge of your own story. My blessing was never designed to terminate at one person. When I pour out on one of my children, it runs over. It reaches beyond. The ones you love, the ones you carry in prayer, the ones whose names you speak to me in your quiet moments, they are going to feel the wave of what I am releasing over you right now. You are not just a recipient. You are going to become a source. Think about what I did with Job. After the season of loss, after the years of not understanding what was happening, after the silence and the grief and the friends who gave wrong counsel, I restored. And I did not restore to the level of what was before. I restored double. Everything that was taken returned in greater measure. That is the nature of my restoration when it comes. It does not arrive quietly and barely. It arrives in abundance, because I'm not a God of just enough. I'm a God of more than enough. And what I do with the lives of those who hold on to me reflects that without exception. The curses that have traveled through your family line, the patterns that kept repeating, the cycles of lack, the same battles being fought by one generation after the next, those patterns are being broken. My son's work on the cross carried the authority to cancel every generational agreement that the enemy held over your bloodline. That cancellation is being applied now. The ones who come after you are not going to inherit the same chains. They are going to begin from higher ground. What you endured and remained faithful through becomes the turning point for those who follow you. Your faithfulness right now has consequences that outlast your lifetime. This is a weight worth carrying. The knowledge that what you are choosing in this season, to hold on, to trust, to remain open, is not just about your own relief. It is about what passes forward. The agreement you are making with my purposes right now is being written into the ground that the ones who come after you will stand on. That is not a small thing. That is a legacy. And I am giving it to you in exchange for the faithfulness you have already shown. There is authority in you now that will increase as you walk forward in this season. The prayer you pray for those around you is going to carry more weight. The encouragement you speak into someone who is exactly where you once were is going to reach deeper, because it is coming from someone who has been through the fire and knows my faithfulness from the inside of it. You are going to be able to stand before someone in the middle of their worst chapter and say with real conviction, "Hold on," not because it sounds right, because you know it is true from experience. That kind of witness cannot be manufactured. It is built over time, and you have been building it. I am opening new dimensions of my presence to you in this season. Not that I was absent before, but there are depths of knowing me that only come to those who have pressed through long enough to reach them. You are at that threshold now. What you are about to discover in your relationship with me will reframe everything that came before it. The hard things will not be erased, but they will be understood differently. You will begin to see the full picture in a way that was not available to you while you were still inside the season of waiting. And what you see will be something worth having gone through everything it took to get here. I need you to understand what else is coming beyond the outward change. Not just the visible provision and the restored relationships and the healed body, but an internal shift in how you carry yourself. You will not walk into rooms the same way. Something in how you hold your ground will be different. Not arrogance, assurance. The kind that comes from knowing with certainty that the God who governs all things has spoken your name and declared your case closed. That knowing changes a person at the root. And I am changing you at the root right now. The life I am building for you from this moment forward is not a life of no challenge. I am not promising you an uncomplicated road, but I am promising you this. You will not walk any part of it without my hand. You will not face any difficulty without my strength being available to you in full measure. You will not encounter any closed door without my authority backing you. You will not carry any burden without me carrying most of its weight. The road ahead is a road I will walk with you, and my walking with you changes what the road is. Step into this now, not tentatively, not with one foot still held back in the old season, with both feet, with the full weight of who you are and what you believe. What I have spoken over your life is not contingent on you being perfect from this point forward. It does not require you to earn it. It requires you to receive it, to open your hands and your heart, and let what I am giving actually arrive. Stop bracing for it to be taken back. Stand in it. This is yours, the one who spoke light into the first darkness. I am the same one speaking right now into whatever darkness has sat over your situation. And what I spoke at the beginning, it appeared. What I am speaking now will appear. Your case is closed. Your miracle is now. My word has gone out over your life, and it will accomplish exactly what I sent it to do. You are going to walk in the fullness of what I have declared, not one day. Beginning now. Say yes, Lord, if you are ready to step fully into the miracle that has already been declared over your life.
We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.